So, the first round of betas concluded this weekend, and today I'd like to talk about the reception of the game from fans. I'm also going to go over several leaks associated with the game, and the continued conversation about exclusivity in Marvel's Avengers. And lastly, the developers released the specs needed to play the game on PC.
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another Carrot Scraps video, and by another, I mean the 25th. So while exclusivity in Marvel's Avengers continues to be a point of contention for fans, more exclusive content continues to be leaked. On screen, you'll see several exclusive skins. According to the leaks, these skins are associated with Intel, Verizon, and Virgin Media. So the first set of skins is actually really cool in my opinion, and missing out on them is a big letdown for me. In fact, these skins remind me of the heist suits from Avengers Endgame. This set is also really cool, and these leaks really seem to highlight how committed the PR team is for Marvel's Avengers. Hulk is sporting gold chains, Iron Man is in humble scraps of steel, and Thor seems to be sun-damaged. Shortly after these leaks, Verizon detailed exactly how you would be able to get these skins. Unfortunately for the majority of people, the only way to earn these skins is by obtaining one of 5,000 super tickets. This raffle has already concluded, and whoever was fast enough to see this were the lucky few. Now I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed that so few people got the chance to get these skins. But more so, I wish Verizon let people know earlier so that I had the opportunity to get these skins before it was too late. I just feel like there was no heads up. Speaking of promotional material, in addition to these collaborations, it seems you'll be seeing the Avengers on 5 gum packaging next time you pick up a pack. Potential in-game rewards for getting a pack of Avengers 5 gum are in-game currency, emotes like the one that you're seeing on screen, and potentially even exclusive skins. But most seem to think that it's just going to be recolors of already existing skins. Like I mentioned, it seems like they're promoting the game in any way possible. And even though fans are upset by exclusive content, there seems to be no shortage of it. How do you feel about the increase of exclusive content in Marvel's Avengers? Let me know in the comments, I'm really curious to see how people feel. Lastly, when it comes to leaks, let's talk about character leaks. According to a player who data mined the game, they seem to have confirmed that 3 unannounced characters will be in the game in the future. These unannounced characters are War Machine, Kate Bishop, and She-Hulk. In addition to these character leaks, there were also mentions of hero cards, whatever those might be. As for these characters being added to the game, I think it completely makes sense. I feel like the announcement of these 3 characters reminds me of Echo Fighters from Smash Bros. Echo Fighters were characters that were almost identical to previously existing characters, with the biggest difference being slight combat changes and a different skin. When you think about it, it's highly likely that War Machine will echo Iron Man's combat, Kate Bishop, a legacy Hawkeye character, will echo Clint Barton, and She-Hulk might echo Hulk. Now, even if that's true, I still think that these 3 characters will operate very differently than their base characters, but I still think it's very likely that the reason why they were chosen to add to the game first is because of how similar they are to already existing characters. Whether these various leaks are to be believed or not, there is no doubt we have many characters and skins coming in the future, so these claims aren't out of the realm of possibility. Let's talk more about the beta and fan reception. So as I mentioned, the beta for PlayStation players concluded this weekend. There's a lot of skeptical and critical feedback from players and reviewers alike. Many highlighted various bugs, inconsistent frame rates, and shallow combat among other criticisms when reviewing the game. Alternatively, there seems to be a positive community forming around the game as well. When looking at positive feedback, I saw a lot of people thanking Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics for making what is essentially their dream game. Many who felt positively about the game would also engage in criticism, with the hope that their critiques can be fixed to make a better overall game. However, those who feel negatively about the game seem to think that the bugs and issues in the beta are problems that can't be fixed before the game's full release. Either way, it's hard to say how much negative or positive feedback there is right now, but from what I can tell, there are many people on both sides of the argument voicing their opinions. If you're struggling to figure out who to listen to, remember, if you play on PlayStation, there's an open beta this weekend, and next weekend there's going to be an open beta for everybody, so you can make a decision for yourself by playing the game. Let's talk about the details surrounding the PC version of the game. I'll leave a link in the description to the full Square Enix rundown, but I'll be reading several excerpts from that link. So PC players of the game will be offered a high-resolution 30GB texture pack, which will allegedly bring the richest and highest resolution visuals of all versions of the game. This texture pack is optional, but of course, if you want to play with these quality settings, your computer is going to need to meet certain specifications. They also mention that there will be support for ultra-wide resolutions for multi-monitor configurations. So it really feels like they're thinking about PC players when they put this out there. They continue to mention that the frame rate will be fully unlocked, and that you can configure key bindings however you please, which I feel like is a no-brainer. But let's talk about the minimum required specs for the game. On screen you'll see some of the minimum requirements, And now on screen is what the developers would recommend that you have to play the game on PC. It's really great to get this information, especially right before the beta. Just a reminder, if you pre-ordered the game on PC, you'll be able to play the beta this weekend, and then the following weekend, the open beta for PC players will begin. Finally, let's conclude today by talking about some of the more notable problems with the beta that players experienced. From what I could tell, most people seem to agree that changes need to be made to the Hulk, many calling for him to be buffed, with others calling for him to be nerfed. Whatever the case, there needs to be a sweet spot that the developers need to find for Hulk. Other reports of problems with the game include several people who joined a friend's game would later find that their character's progression was lost. Save data on both a character's level and their power would roll back drastically, and it seemed to happen specifically after connecting with friends. Many people reported that this was one of the loudest games on their PS4, with the console being so loud that it was eventually hard to ignore. I personally played the beta on a PS4 and not a PS4 Pro. I had moments of performance issues, but I assumed it was my hardware. However, my PS4 was extremely loud while playing the game, and it seems those playing on a PS4 Pro also experienced the same problem. So does this mean that the game is made for the PS5, or is this something that we just have to accept? For many players, the game would reportedly freeze during specific missions, to the point where they would need to power down the game. Some even said that they could play the game perfectly one day, but the next day couldn't get through any missions without the game freezing, and causing them to shut off the console. I've even read that those who have had missions freeze on them couldn't get back into the game for a long time. Something really odd is that a player reported that they could hear other players' microphones when they were playing offline with AI companions. This is a really weird and worrying problem and should definitely be looked into. Another player mentioned that the Hulk's upgrades in the skill tree are marked incorrectly, causing them to press the wrong inputs. And one of the last notable problems with the beta was issues with online functionalities. Many players, including myself, couldn't connect with other people without the game sending them back to the main menu. Hopefully many or the majority of these issues will be worked on and fixed before the next beta starts. As many people know about live service games or modern updates, once you try to fix a bug, you end up creating other bugs by mistake. So the faster we can work these problems out before release, the better. For anyone worried when hearing about all of these bugs, just remember, the point of a beta is to work this stuff out. Let's just hope that by release, the majority of these problems will be fixed. And that's going to do it for today's video. If for whatever reason you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe for more Avengers content. In the next couple days, I'll be working on a video talking about the story in the game, another video speculating on potential characters we could see in the future, and even a video talking about continuity that comes before the game even starts. I've also been talking about my footage from the beta live on Twitch every day, so if you want to see me talk about the game, or if you have any questions, or want to talk about your experience with the game, feel free to follow me on Twitch at CarrotScraps. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at CarrotScraps as well. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you soon. I hope we get the Regal Cinema Avengers skins soon, or the Mazda Avengers skins after that.